little bit of the light-hearted creativity inspired by spring and Easter. And on the top of that, we are going to try some fun and easy mixed media techniques that you can include in this kind of home decor, because this is beginner friendly version of mixed media, first steps in mixed media. So the most useful, popular, and let's say effective techniques that you can include into your home decor objects. So welcome everybody, I hope you're going to have a good time, and let's have a look at the chat. I have to see how this is going to work. Okay, hello Carol, hello Sam, hello Lucille, hello Chrissy, hello Kathy, Sue, Anika, hello. This is also the good moment. I hope the ads are going to be gone soon, because this is public one, so let's hope there won't be too much. So let's give our friends on Facebook and Instagram a moment to join. I hope you're going to invite your crafty friends as well. You can share the link, you can post it in the groups, and of course this is going to be recorded, so you can watch it after if you don't have the time to watch everything now, or if you feel that you would like to share the link with somebody after, that would be great. Also, thumbs up if you didn't like the video yet, it makes it more visible, and if possible, make sure you are subscribed to that channel. Thank you very much. So, yay, thank you for sharing. So hello again, everybody. It is first steps in mixed media, and that means we are all going to work on something fun but not very complicated. When it comes to spring and Easter, I have to say our ideas are usually turning around things such as bunnies, eggs, birds, maybe some butterflies and other insects, but mostly flowers, So, of course, we will include this kind of product into the project, but I will try to show you some techniques which are really helpful especially when you work on the quite problematic surfaces. Because most of the decorations you're able to buy in the shops now, they're not really great surfaces to work on. They are mostly plastic or styrofoam or some kind of the slippery finish, sometimes covered with varnish. So to give them a quick makeover, it is not always easy. So I hope these ideas are going to get you inspired. So in the meantime, when we're getting ready, I will show you what kind of elements I got from the shop. My shopping wasn't too elaborate, but I hope it's going to give you some ideas. So let's turn the camera. And what have I got? Of course, I've got some mixed media supplies. This is not a surprise, but I got some eggs from different sources. So if you are in Europe, the wooden egg and this set of eggs comes from Flying Tiger. So this is Danish shop, as far as I remember, and that is a chain store that has some quite cute home decor. Then these eggs, I got them from Amazon. They were quite inexpensive, sorry. And they come in two sizes, as you can see. Well, pastel colors, so not exactly what I like to have in my own project. So they will need a little bit of a makeover. Once I was buying the eggs, I was thinking it may be a good idea to get some elements to construct the home decor. So at that time, I found artificial nest, and inside of the nest there were some eggs already. So this is of course something made out of it's not really grass. It's like, let's say very small, very delicate twigs. Maybe it may be willow. It may be something like wine. Vine, sorry, not wine. So that is a part that we can include in our project. In general, making anything in the nest is kind of fun because you can put a lot of different creatures inside. It doesn't have to be just a bird or a chicken. Yeah, grapevine. Yeah, very likely this is grapevine. And then something that is grapevine for sure. I found a set also on Amazon, but don't blame me. We don't really have a lot of home decor shops here. Grapevine wreath base, and it was like 20 centimeters, so 8 inches, and the smaller one is probably around 10 centimeters. So 10 centimeters is, I don't know. I have to check. 4 inches. And I was thinking we can combine the two sizes together, putting one inside of another or putting one above another. Thank you, Sue. That is very helpful. Hello. I can see you keep joining. So I will just guide you through what I've got here waiting. Then I figured because it's spring project, I'm going to get some Prima flowers, and these are the sets I got. I'm not sure which colors we're going to go into, depends on the colors of the other elements. I've got some pink ones, I've got some blue ones. I have also a lot of loose flowers here as well. I've got waxes, of course, including the new colors. And then I've got embellishments. So I got some leaves and I got some metal flowers because, of course, we had a little bit extra. I have, again, not a very expensive supply. These are just flowers, again, from some kind of home decor section of the shop, and I like them because they are fabric and also they have pretty okay color of the leaves, and there's some different shapes and sizes. So for making the composition that may be going outside, outdoors on your front door, these are quite good because they are more sturdy than paper flowers. So here, one thing you have to consider when making a decoration, where you are going to put it. If it's going to be inside, paper flowers are absolutely fine. If it's going to be outside, especially if you live in the country like I do, when there's a lot of rain and wind, fabric ones are going to be a better solution. So I have some of these here, and what I like, they have really different kind of foliage. Like there are leaves and there are some little branches, so they could be nice for adding a bit of green element to the sides of the wreath. So also from Prima Supplies, we've got nice looking crystal vines. So they may be a nice touch. They are quite old objects, but they are sometimes at home in our stash, the crystals of different kinds. They could be cute add-on to the project as well. So this is what I've got from my shops. And then, because it's a spring project, I figured I'm going to prepare some of the elements. Maybe there will be a space to add a butterfly or another insect. I have some of them here, just made with the resin. This is, of course, Prima mold, redesigned with Prima. And this is my mold. So we can include some of the butterflies. And last but not least, I was thinking it would be nice if I could add a little bit of the shiny object. I've got crystals that I bought some time ago. They are sun catchers. So because I was hoping I can turn it into hanging ornament, that would be nice element to add somewhere on the bottom, hanging down. So these are this is the bunch of the ideas I've got, and soon we're going to look at the possible options. So first of all, let's have a look. I forgot how to join the elements together. Well, I was thinking I'm going to use something a little bit more grungy. So not really a ribbon or a piece of not a ribbon or piece of twine. I'm going to take the chain. So it's going to be connected with the chain. I think this is a nice touch. So that is part of the plan. For the finishing touches, I also have a bit of gears, and I've got sugar pebbles, super shiny version of the pebbles, and I've got a big bunch of the diamond pebbles. So we can add a bit of the light catching details. So if we want to work on the project, if we want to have some kind of a home decor that is going to be more personalized, it's good to know what can we do with our objects. Really, these are pretty neutral, but if you wanted to change the color of it, you could probably dry brush some of the color on the top. For example, you could add a bit of whitewash, and then you could dry brush gesso or white acrylic paint. Or for us, if we want to make it a little bit more metallic and shiny, we can rub a bit of the metallic waxes on the top to turn it into more gold or silver or any other metallic color we like. So my plan was, I wanted to combine the nest together with the bigger wreath. So I will need to stick it together. And for this purpose, when we do home decor, quite often we will use the hot glue instead of heavy body gel only, because these elements are really hard to glue together, and hot glue is going to catch them nicely because they are not too slippery. If you know, in most of the flower compositions, fake flower compositions, people really, the florists, use the hot glue. So it is okay if you're going to use it with this kind of porous matte finishes. So I would like to decorate the wreath. I would like to make another smaller version here on the top as well, including flowers, but also probably it would be nice to include butterfly. And then I would like to add some lovely eggs inside of the nest. And I told you we've got a bit of a challenge with the eggs that we have. They don't really like heat gun. They don't really like heating because they are styrofoam. So that means any kind of painting is going to probably, let me show you, melt them when we start drying the... Don't run away. First of all, they will run away. Oh, I know. You can see what happens. they start to look like dragon eggs, which is not too bad, but they also shrink and they melt. So if you plan to use acrylic paints on the top of the styrofoam, you have to keep in mind you will have to dry them naturally. And I have to tell you, they smell terribly. Yeah, that's the texture. So what we can do, instead of maybe painting them with acrylic paints, if you want to change the color, the better option is to rub the wax on the top, because they are matte enough to get the texture, to get the metallic finish from the wax, and then we can add a little bit for our dragon egg effect, and we can make the whole nest. And my plan was to make one bigger egg using crystals and a bit of metallic flakes as an inspiration. So we are going to look at this kind of style, but I wanted to combine it with the wings. So I will take a bigger one from this set. They are not styrofoam, they're plastic. So again, probably not too happy about being heated. Let's see. Not too bad. Not too bad. Good quality plastic, I have to say. And I wanted to make one big and a couple of the textured smaller ones. So I'm going to first put the wax on the top and then shrink it a little bit. So it's going to be quite cool. Let's have a look at my plan here. With this egg, I was planning to play even more and to add the wings. Just to, just like in the situation when the magical bird or some other creature is going to hatch soon and the wings are already out, and then we will surround it with the dragon eggs, so it's going to be more fun. So in this way, we're going to create the nest that is going to sit here on the bottom. Maybe I'll take a medium size instead. Let's see. Oh, maybe this one. And then we can add extra eggs somewhere in the composition here. So first step is going to be making a good bunch of the eggs a little bit in advance, so we have it ready. And then starting to put it all together in the composition. Because it is metallic and it's going to be shiny, it's probably not a surprise. There will be a desperate need of adding some vintage touches as well. So that is going to be extra acrylic paints. So how do you like the plan? Let's have a look. Yeah, this is the styrofoam effect. So first, let's make a quick evaluation if our plan is going to work. We're going to work probably mostly in the warmer colors. And I will try to rub a bit of the metallic wax directly on the egg to see how it's going to stick. Because it's very matte, it should work. So our first step is to create the effect on the eggs. I will take a bit of red flame. I'm not sure if your eggs have the same problem as mine, but once I took them out from the bag, they smell terrible. They smell in a very unpleasant way. But I hope it's not going to affect the beauty. Okay, look. It is not bad at all. See? So it will be easy to go directly on styrofoam with the wax. You could go with gesso if it was plastic. This is what we're going to do with the big dragon egg. But here, because it's going to be a lot of small eggs, we can go just using waxes directly on the matte finish. So let's see how it's going to shrink after heating that up a little bit. Don't run away, don't run away. Okay, we see the blue undertone, but it looks quite cool. Nice. So this technique is approved for the home decor. If we want to make dragon eggs, that is a very quick solution. So I will try to make a good bunch. Let's focus on the color palette. My flowers are mostly pink and red, a little bit of white. So we're going to go into the warmer colors. So I'm going to take some of the eggs from here. They're going to be mostly yellow or white or pink. And these are going to be great for adding the touches in the different parts of the composition. So now, colors. I'm going to use coral, honey, and red flame. So they're going to be nice accents. Okay, for some reason my live chat stopped. I hope it's going to work. So these are going to be our colorful accents. And then for this egg, I was thinking about turning that into metallic flake. Another technique that is great for problematic surfaces, because you can go directly on the top and it is not going to require anything except gilding glue. So if you have plastic and you want to work on it, either you have to start with the gesso, so and then put a coat on the top, or if you're going to use metallic flakes, you can go directly. So let me look at the best size for our nest. We want this egg to be pretty visible. The big problem is the finding the good position for it. Of course, it's going to be glued, but I have to make a decision between the bigger one and the smaller one. Okay. This is the bigger one. Yeah, I think the smaller one is nicer. So this is going to be decorated with metallic flakes. So we have a good plan. So we're going to move mostly around colors which are red, pink or gold, maybe a touch of silver. So here we're going to add the waxes quickly. I'm going to put them in the side, but here we're going to use metallic flakes. These are wings from my set called Pieces of Underworld, and I just prepared that with resin. Sorry, I have hard time with the chat. The size I'm using, that's a good question. I never measured them yet. Well, not yet. So for people who think in inches, this egg is 1.5 inch tall, almost 2 inches. I guess. Oh my God. Sorry, I couldn't really see the chat because for some reason my phone decided it's time to switch off. And the small ones are around 1 inch. So, yeah. The biggest one that I think is too big, it is 2 and 1/4 of the inch. So let's start with the big dragon egg. So we can start putting that all together. So when you are taking your first steps in mixed media, one of the most important things that you have to figure out is what kind of surface you work on. If you work on something which is already matte and it has like really nice matte finish, you can put almost anything on the top. You can go directly with the paints, you can go with your waxes, anything that you really want. But if you work on something that is similar to resin, plastic, glass, absorbing surface such as fresh wood, untreated wood, in the end of it all, it's always good to start with something that is going to be your isolation or your primer to turn it matte, so gesso. Here, we are planning to stick the metallic flakes to make it super shiny. So the plan is, in fact, to go with the glue. This glue is so sticky, the gilding glue for the metallic flakes, it is going to stick to everything anyway. So I don't have to spend the time with the gesso. So you can really take a shortcut, and you can go directly to that point. So let's take a bit of this glue, not too much. I have one live stream where I'm showing how to use metallic flakes if you need more information. So you can go and check. There was like everything about metallic flakes or how to apply metallic flakes, which is great for beginners if you are not sure how to use the product. But in general, the concept is to create very sticky surface, and then it stays sticky until you're going to put something on the top. So it can be metallic flake, or it can be mica powder or glitter. And of course, it's going to stick in all the places which are covered in your glue. So it is great to have this moment with your brush and just go everywhere like I'm going now and put one thin coat on the whole surface you would like to cover. It's so tacky that my fingers are already getting stuck together. So I want my big dragon egg to be the most important part of the composition. So I'm going to cover that with metallic flakes, and they are very shiny. And that means they're going to attract a lot of attention. For extra support, for extra touches, we're going to make a good bunch of the mini dragon eggs. They will be done with waxes on styrofoam. And then they are going to be added to the composition in some selected parts. On the top of that, we also have some elements which are made of resin, for example, butterflies, and then can be easily colored with metallic waxes, but before that we will need to cover them with gesso. So to give it a bit of a structure, I'm going to use metallic flakes first, so I can take this product off the table. Then we are going to focus on the products, on the elements which are going to be waxed, and then I will show you the difference with the wax and with the gesso and without the gesso. So you will see why it is so important. And then we will try to put it all together. Does it sound like a plan? And also, of course, if you have any questions and I don't really answer right away, don't be angry. Give me a second because I work and I read the chat at the same time. So if I don't answer your important question, you can put it here again and again. And sometimes you can even put it in bold or with capital letters. So surely I will see it. Okay, so as you can see, I don't put a lot of this glue. I just try to cover everything. And then we dry it until it turns completely transparent. So you will know the glue got to the maximum of the tackiness. Maximum tackiness. Well, it sounds like a good name for a band. So I'm going to put the styrofoam eggs away so they're not flying. And I dry everything with the heat gun until I can see my glue turns transparent. Hello, hello, it's good to see you. Okay, that should be sticky enough. Look at my fingers. They're already very, very sticky. So I'm going to use the baby wipe to clean my fingers, and then we're going to cover our focal point, so the winged egg with the metallic flakes. Baby wipes. So because we go in the warm color palette, I was thinking we can combine silver and gold. So the egg may be covered with mixture in silver and gold. And then we can make some gold wings because it's probably a golden dragon. So I think that is going to be a perfect solution, huh? Later on, we will rub some silver wax on the gold, so it's going to show some of the details if it's needed. I take away the glue, so the flakes are not going to stick to everything. I close the wax, you know, safety first. And then let's start with the egg and then continue with the wings. So it doesn't have to be perfect application. It's more about playing with the effect, so you can just rub it. And remember, if you need to add a little bit more later, that's no problem, because this glue stays tacky for a very long time. And at the same time, if you're going to miss a spot, don't worry, because you can put another coat of your glue and fix it, make a patch. Okay, so no perfection needed. I'm just trying to pick up all the possible pieces. Of course, I'm going to rub off the excess, but you can see it's already super shiny. And then, yes, I covered wings and the egg with the gilding glue, but I want to make the wings I wanted to make the wings mostly gold, but they're already covered in a bit of silver, so let's hope I'm able to hide that. So we will have silver gold egg, and we're going to have golden wings, because it's probably some magical golden bird, or maybe dragon with the bird wings. You never know what comes from this egg, right? It's a mixed media style project, so everything is possible. So now I try to take the metallic flakes and I add a coat of this metallic flake on the top of the resin element. So you can see, if you want to give a quick makeover in metallic style to your object that is made of problematic materials such as plastic or resin or something similar, gilding glue and flakes, this is very quick and kind of goof-proof solution, because it just sticks. And then you can add color on the top of that. You can rub the wax. You can add almost any kind of finish, because you can make it a little bit more matte or you can make it more vintage. It's really up to you. So here's almost no preparation needed. You just need to use the tacky glue. So the gilding glue for the metallic flake from Art Extravagance collection, and then stick the flakes on the top. Yeah, it is a little bit like the snitch from Harry Potter, if you're going to look at that, huh? I'm going to glue it together this way, so the wings are going to be a little bit more behind the egg, so it looks like it's coming out of it. So it's really promising. For those who aren't particularly into eggs or don't have access to them, I'm thinking butterflies and bug resin. Yeah, absolutely. You can think about any object that you think is going to work for spring. Like, just to show you what I got. I got a bunch of little bunnies as well. I want to use them for the video class for my patrons. They are cute. They could be also sitting somewhere in the composition in your nest, so why not? So I'm going to brush off the excess here, and then we're going to move to waxing our elements. So I'm going to wax some of the butterflies. I'm going to wax some of the eggs, and this way we're going to have all the elements to put it all together. So as you can see, once you start rubbing off the excess, the detail is back. So the metallic flakes gives you very thin coat, which is great because it's not taking away any detail of the elements. So it is good when you have something with texture and you would like to keep your texture visible. So good advice for when you have maybe some piece that is not really great looking but has nice shape and you would like to add like extra glamour to that. Metallic flake is very good friend of yours. I didn't do back of the wings. If I will decide later the back is visible, I'm going to paint them or do some kind of waxing. But I am usually playing the lazy way. So we have the wings. Then I do the same thing with my egg. What I don't like is the egg has a hole here. So I will try to find some kind of embellishment that is going to maybe cover that. I had an idea because maybe some little crystal on the top is going to work, or maybe a little screw head. Here on this egg that I made in the past, that is like a gear with the screw head on the top, but this is so much bigger. Like these are huge. If I took similar thing here, it would be just too much. So let's have a look. Let's see. No, it's too big. So we could probably stick one of the crystals, like a small crystal would be nice. I think that's going to be the best solution. You can do it with the gloves, no problem. I don't really wear the gloves. I already have very good start for my homemade manicure though. So that is the element for the focal point. Little metal heart sounds great as well. Yeah, we will figure that out once it is sitting in the nest. Now, we need a bit of the elements which are going to be waxed. And I mentioned that I have some butterflies here ready. They're not too big, but if we combine them with the the right size of the metal embellishments and the flowers of different kinds, I think they will be just on point. Don't worry about the colors of the flowers. If they're not matching, we can change them. So this is also good to know. Let me look through my butterflies, how many I've got. They all come from the mold. I think this is really good size. There's one bigger. I just broke the wing of it. Oh my god. No. I'm oh no. There's also a moth and another moth. So we have a bunch of the resin elements made with molds. And these ones we can decorate using waxes. But before adding the wax, it's good habit to put coat of gesso first. It can be white gesso, black gesso, or clear gesso if we plan to cover that completely. I think we're going to mostly focus on colors which are red and coral, maybe yellow, so honey, to start with, and then we're going to highlight that with the nice contrast. So this way they will be all really nicely visible. So before putting anything on the top, it's really good habit to start with a bit of the gesso, because it's just going to stick so much better. On the other side of the resin element, you can see maybe it's how glossy it is. Oh, now you can see. So it will be not great for the wax to stick this to the surface. So before you do anything, we are going to cover that with the coat of gesso. Here I've got clear gesso, so we can just go with that. Like a good starting point. So it's going to turn it matte. So my wax is going to stick better. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be wonderful. It's just enough to give you a bit of a matte finish. And this is, again, very good technique for any kind of element you may have at home. So imagine you are using old broken jewelry, or maybe you found some cool things which are made of metal or plastic or something that is not really easy to paint on. This is your solution. Gesso is your best friend. Well, the waxes are sticking to the things, but not sticking things together. Well, I'm not sure if you need to buy gloves. It is all depends. This is not wax. This is metallic flake on the glue. This is what we did here. So it's a little bit different technique. And some people like to work with the gloves. Some people don't. I don't, but I don't have any other job and nobody's going to judge my manicure. So you have to make this important decision for yourself and then decide. So as you can see, I'm not super careful with the gesso. I'm just trying to rub it everywhere so my elements have it. I think maybe this big butterfly will be nice looking on the smaller part of the wreath. Like, you know, sitting like this. Or I'm not sure if I like the shape. Like, feels very heavy. I have another one here. I have to be careful because I broke 2 of them already because I wasn't careful. Okay, I just broke another one. Today I have a day of breaking things. Of course I can glue them together, but dragonfly would be nice. I just have to stick the tail back on. I think there was something wrong with the resin today because it's super easy to break. Maybe we had bad luck. So I'm just trying to stick it with heavy body gel and then I'm going to cover that. Yeah, dragonflies and butterflies, they are always popular objects. They really are something that people like to use a lot. And for springtime, they are perfect. So I will try to stick it. Of course, it takes a long time to dry, so I'm not sure if I can paint it for now. I will take another one. I will take this one instead. Now we have the clear gesso. We dry it until it is dry, and then we can rub our wax on the top. And when you want to show the details, you can do it in 2 steps, which means first you put the base color and then you put the highlights on the top. So that will be our plan. Kocur. Coś było nie tak z tym rezinem, bo wszystko się łamie. Jeśli mógł jeszcze raz tego dragonfly'a zrobić, to byłbym wdzięczna. Wszystko się rwanie po prostu jak, nie wiem, jakiś musiał być trefny. Nie mam pojęcia. Almost there. Am I the only one getting ads all the time? Like, I think I will never ever allow them to do it, because it's just annoying. So let's pick the colors. I would try some coral, some red flame, and some honey. So we will have different styles of the butterflies coming. Yeah, I think I can't switch it off now. It is just not the way it's supposed to be. They are, and it was supposed to be the minimum. So I don't know. Life is sometimes full of surprises. So here we go. Let's add some yellow. Let's say 2 butterflies will be yellow. Let's make 2 of them coral, and let's make 2 of them red. And then we are going to add the highlights. So let's have a look. We have the red one here. In the meantime, we can also take some of the eggs for this color, some of the eggs for the yellow, and for the coral as well. So we do the waxing of our elements now. Yes, these are the new waxes that just came out. These are, I picked the 3 colors from this color palette, matching the concept of the project that we have on our mind. So red flame, honey, and coral. And they are going to be our base color for the butterflies. I already tried the red flame on the top of our mini dragon egg. So styrofoam eggs are going to be quite good for that. So a bit more of the red flame. Let's start with the, let's say, this one and this one. Let's say this one and this one. Okay. So now I'm going to wax it completely. It's going to be the base color, so I go deep with the details, and later I can come with contrasting colors to add the highlights. So for example, I will add a bit of silver. So red flame, as you can see, is very intense red. And it doesn't really take long to cover, just so makes it easier. And right away, the color feels more saturated. Don't forget about the edges. Your flakes don't like the egg. Is it maybe the problem with not having enough of the gilding glue? Is it possible you didn't apply enough? Like you didn't cover everything? I'm just asking a question, although it's unlikely. Like you know what you are doing, I'm sure. Okay, and now eggs. So using waxes instead of acrylic paints, it's another like user-friendly technique because it goes quickly. And that means you can go with your painting almost instantly. Like your wax is not require any heat drying. It doesn't have to be, long process. Everything happens quite in a short period of time. And you can layer one wax on the top of another to make more of the highlights. And you can combine the waxes to make a transition of color. It's hard to make transition on this size of the egg, but you can imagine some part of the egg could be red and the other part of the egg could be pink or blue or any other color you like. Yeah, then if the you have enough of the glue, maybe it was not dry enough, and that's why it wasn't so tacky. Yeah, that's the suggestion from Kilaila as well. Okay, we have the red ready. Now I will switch the brush to another color. You can see this was red as well. Pretty cool dragon egg. I wipe my fingers. And then we will go to coral. Coral is like pink orange tone, very nice. Let's go here. You can see it is much more subtle comparing to the red flame. Let's say my fingers are clean enough. Let's go and add another color to first to the butterflies. So you can see the difference in the color. And before highlighting the details, it's better to let your first wax dry a little bit. So you're not going to blend one layer of wax into another. You're just going to let it set. And then after a few minutes, you can easily do the highlight. So in general, flakes are user-friendly because they don't require any special drying, and they may be applied with a brush or with the finger. A lot of people, once they use them, they fell in love because it is easy. And you don't have to have like special skills in dry brushing to work with the highlighting technique, because it is pretty straightforward. You can just rub with your finger. And when it comes to giving your elements a makeover to make a home decor object, it seems to be very user-friendly product. So again, we will get some of the eggs as well into the coral color. You can see coral is less covering comparing to red flame, so the effect on the eggs will be a bit different. It's also very good advice when you have waxes. It's to make a color swatch and to put your wax on the dark surface, for example, on the black paint, on the black gesso, and on the white one. So you're going to see how each wax is going to look on the dark surface and light surface. Yes, coral has a bit of the gold mica in it. You can see it on my fingers now. So coral has, it's more pink with the like orange pink with the gold mica in it. That would be the best description. Okay, that was color number 2. Now we're going to honey, which is beautiful yellow. And this yellow is really saturated, really lovely. So I take another clean brush and we go to that. Of course, I clean my fingers so I can touch the elements a little bit easier. Oh, Carol said, I did my outdoor birdhouses covered with the waxes, and they have been outside in crazy weather and still look like the day I put them out. You know, wax has like varnishing qualities. Like, you know, it is finishing product, which means you don't have to put any top coat on the top. It is a top coat itself. So because it's based on the wax, it kind of protects the layers which are under. It is the same concept as with the waxed covered furniture or waxed covered floors. As long as the wax is there, it's like a protective coat. And once it is rubbed off, you can always top it with the new portion. But in general, I'm very glad they worked so well. Oh, 2-3 years. Wow. That's very good. You can see honey has the most beautiful golden yellow shade. Perfect for the springtime, I guess. So we are going to the really like spring vibe to our project. And of course, it matches our metallic dragon egg that is going to sit together with the other eggs in the nest. So now I have to say this styrofoam this styrofoam eggs really have a very bad smell. So you can see this is like sunflower slash to vintage yellow color. Really saturated yellow. It's not gold. It's more like of a yellow tone. So if you like colors like that, or you feel that you need a bit of this saturated yellow in your color palette, this is honey. Really lovely color. So you can see we are quite far in our preparation stages. Now we will start thinking about how to put it all together. Yes, the question about cleaning brushes. My life is very simple. I don't really use a lot of very complicated products. And for cleaning the waxes off, I use traditional soap, like oil-based soap or any other, like olive oil or argan oil-based soap, something that would be used for general cleaning. And that is also working as a conditioner for the waxes, for the wax brushes, makes them softer. I wash all of my brushes with just simple soap. The one I buy is just gray green in color. It doesn't look beautiful. It doesn't really smell in any amazing way, but it's just good quality, quite strong soap. And it's good for your skin as well. This is what, it was sold in the shops years ago as a basic house cleaning supply. And now I buy this kind of one. And I don't go like shopping physically because we really live in a small village. So most of my things I order online. And I found a brand I really enjoy. It's a French brand called Marius Fabre. But you can find this kind of version of the soap in many countries, having different names, but it's like general, simple, without any extra additives, oil-based soap. And that is it. But if you don't have it, you can use shampoo. Of course, the more simple shampoo you have, the better. Or you can use dishwashing liquid. And the key is use hot water because it works the same way as cleaning oil off your frying pan or any other greasy object. It has to be warm water to help to break this wax of the bristle. And then, of course, use detergent, so use the soap. So that is the whole story here. I just need to go back to the chat because, of course, the chat died again for me because we have the most... okay, it's clean enough. I can do the highlighting later once it is in the right place. So now I'm just going to pull it to the sides. And I will clean up the space here. I will clean up the space here, and we can think about how to put it all together. Now it's time to think about getting your embellishments out and getting your hot glue ready, because a lot of things we will need to stick using the hot glue, and then it's going to make it just easier when it is on hand and ready to go. So I take my glue gun. I have some extra glue sticks. I put it here on the side. And then we have many different supplies here. I'm not really going to use metallic flakes anymore. And we have the wreath. So it's going to be a bit of a planning. First, I think we need to work on what we are going to put inside of the nest. So the nest will be ready to attach. And then we will see how much space we've got left. I told you my plan was to combine two pieces together. So there will be chain connecting these two, and then there will be chain going, connecting these two, and then there will be chain going up, so I can make it, turn it into my window or door decoration, but with a bit of the mixed media twist, with a bit of grungy twist. So I can connect that using, you know, any kind of old jewelry, but also I've got this chain. I think it's one from Prima from some time ago, and it looks like something that I could use easily. Nice color, by the way. So I usually go through my stash and try to find things that I can use. But you know, if you don't have a chain, any other thing such as twine, thread, nice ribbon may work. It all depends how grungy you want to go, or how feminine and elegant you want to go. It's really up to you, because it may be done in any color combination. Before anything else, I need to see where my nest is, right? The nest is going to be attached here, probably a little bit closer to one of the sides. So I don't think I will do it fully symmetrically, because it's going to be hard to put it on the window. I think it will be the best place for it. The window would be lovely. So that will be sitting here. And I'm really tempted to attach the elements to the wreath, but first add a tiny bit of the color on the wreath as well. So how about a touch of gold? I'm going to get rid of my eggs from here, just to give it a bit more of the character. Or not gold. Maybe we should give it a bit of a... No, gold, because if it's going to be green, it will be all over the place. Let's find... Oh, that will be good for highlights. Let's see, aged brass. This is the color which is quite good for steampunk projects, so I will give it a try. I just want to make it more eye-pleasing, so a bit of metallic is going to be a very cool solution. I take it on a bigger brush, and I'm rubbing that on the top, and I see if this is changing enough. I don't think it's changing enough. I will take vintage gold instead. Let's see. Just the highlight to make it more interesting. I don't really see that much. I don't want to go with silver because it's going to turn very white. Let's have a look at the bit of honey. Maybe honey will be better. Well, in general, all of them are not very visible, but they have this nice metallic touch to it. So you can try that. I think gold and honey are better option. A little bit more visible than the aged brass, but it's not shockingly great. So, baby wipe. Yeah, you can see it has a bit of the metallic touch, but it's not like, oh, wow. So, yeah, I mixed a bit of honey with gold, but still I think it's too delicate on this brown. I'm getting tempted to experiment more now and see what's going to happen if I put the acid on. Acid is very strong, saturated green gold. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's adding a tiny bit of a color, adding a bit of life. Yeah, acid. Let's do the acid. I'm not going to add too much on the nest though. I think the nest is quite nice as it is. So turning that a little bit more spring-like. Officially, these wreaths, it was like a sale after Christmas. So turning them into something more spring-like, it's absolutely okay. I'm just going to show a bit more of the texture of the nest with the leftovers of my gold and aged brass. Okay, so we have our details ready. Let's look inside of the nest. Here is the dragon egg that needs extra support, I guess. I'll try to shape the nest a little bit. And this is the moment when you will need to use the hot glue to put it in place. So you're going to put the wings in. Yes, the wings in. Then we're going to put the egg, and then we're going to give it a company of the little dragon eggs. That's the plan. So here is the hot glue moment. And I need a glue stick. No, not low temperature, high temperature. It was not hot enough, but we can start just to place it in the right position. I'm going to add the highlights on the top in a moment. I think the nest is really cool. I have some extra elements glued to my hot glue gun. I need this to heat up a little bit more, apparently. So in the meantime, we can work on making texture on our special eggs. Let's put them in the container so they are not running away. And let's heat them to create the dragon structure. No, they are like doing their best to escape. No, we need to try something smaller. Maybe here. So what we want to do is to make the styrofoam melt a little bit, so we will see the dragon egg structure. Dragon egg structure is a fact you get by accident, but it looks cool anyway. Okay. They really look cool. This is really fun. And because I picked the eggs with the contrasting color, you can see the contrasting detail now. So the styrofoam is going to give it... Okay, this is all done. So I'm trying to do the other side now. So we have first portion of the dragon eggs. And now the second portion of the dragon eggs, we do the same. I think it's really fun. In the worst case, if you melt them even more, they can pretend they're pine cones for the Christmas. You don't know how these bumps are being created? This is styrofoam. And the styrofoam is naturally shrinking because of the heat. So, let me show you on a bigger example. Okay. These are the bigger eggs, but they are done from styrofoam as well. If you look closer, it already has a bit of texture. Okay? Maybe you can see. When you hit it, it starts to melt. So the structure is so much more visible. Make sense? Yeah, exactly. Don't try to inhale it. And of course, don't melt it to the point when it starts to turn into smoke, right? Yeah, but this is, you know, this is the cheapest possible embellishment you can buy, but this is how you can turn it into a dragon egg. Ha. So now we have portion of the dragon eggs. We can put them together with the snitch dragon egg into our nest. Let's hope it is hot enough now. Let's see. Okay, much better. So I'm going to go a little bit from the behind, and I'm going to secure this wing that was not glued properly. This is not the official mixed media project that is going to last forever. Hot glue works for the porous surfaces, so it's going to work for our nest, but it's not going to be the same for making a collage. So please don't use hot glue on a collage project because it's not going to be strong enough to hold it in place. Okay, we have that's a good start. I'm going to stick some crystal on the top in a moment, and let's add some good company for our egg. A little bit higher up. I tried to put it in a position so it's really visible. Again, be careful when you use hot glue because you may burn your fingers painfully. We're adding some eggs, but I'm going to add some flowers, so it's going to look a bit nicer. Let's look at our flower option. Okay, let's look at the Prima flowers. They are quite big, but these ones here, they match our color. And they're pretty cool roses. I'm looking for the nice looking flower. It's too big. So now we have some of the dragon eggs. Some flowers and the big egg waiting. Of course, we can add a bit of the special touches such as crystals. Yes, the styrofoam eggs, of course, are a bit affected by the hot glue. So make sure you need to put the glue only on the bottom part, not too close to the visible part, because it's going to melt So you have to be even more careful. That's why hot glue is only for very small group of the projects. Something that is going to be like really more like a floral composition, not for good quality, sturdy collage projects you would like to put on display for a long time. For this, it's so much better to use the 3D gel or heavy body gel. So now, as you can see, I'm trying to add a bit of the lovely detail, crystals. And maybe a bit of elements that look like leaves. It's really big, this one. This is really big, so I have to think what I can do. But I have pretty cool metal leaves here that may be added as a part of that. Exactly, as Dolores mentioned, on Amazon you can get a good selection of the styrofoam eggs in different sizes. These are all from Amazon, in fact, because as I mentioned that, I'm not great at shopping locally because we don't really have a lot of shops, and I try to find solutions online, and that means I quite often go to online shops or Amazon to find my options. Look at that. I'm going to highlight that in a moment. But it's already a bit like some crazy nest of a bird. What else can we add here to make it more matching the style? Well, we shouldn't be shy. We can do whatever we want. So together with our eggs, we can put piece of a light bulb, whatever you like to do for your steampunk style. I have one or two of the light bulbs here I can include into that composition. It is a fun detail. We can add a gear because there's always a space for gear in the project. And this will be like the biggest part of this. So, of course, we need to pay attention. Don't worry about the leaves being almost the same color as the nest. We will turn it more visible in a moment. Now we are just putting the elements together to make it look more fun. This is the front of it, so I'm mostly putting things from that side. I really would like to add a smaller size of gear. Let me find one. Because gears are always the right choice. I have green only. That means I have to wax them. Oh, this I'm going to stick with the heavy body gel because it will be much easier for me this way instead of playing with the hot glue. So there's a bit of a gear. We can add another one somewhere in the back. Then maybe somewhere here for good measure, but it's too big. I need a smaller one. Smaller gear. Here's like a mini version. Okay. Now I would like to add a crystal, or even better, the sugar pebble, to cover the most important and not pretty part of the egg. Sugar pebbles, they are just kind of a pebble that has very shiny detail. So I'm going to put them here, and I will try to find the one that, oh, that would be so cute to have them on the top of the egg. I'm going to put this little one to hide this ugly top. Come on, more in the middle. Removing the excess of the wax that we don't need. And later on, there was a question about the wings. Yes, I will need to paint the back of the wings as well. So I will cover them with clear gesso and the wax. Now, thinking, should I add more of these crystals to the egg? No, not really. Okay, that decision is for later. Now, I'll put it on the side to dry before I'm going to dry brush a bit of other metallic effects. And now I will try to figure out how to decorate the other parts of the wreath. So this is going to sit in here, so we've got space from here to here. So the easiest way would be to start with flowers and add some embellishments. So we're not going to be shy. We're going to take some flowers. And because it is all about springtime, we can go with different shapes and sizes. And then again, because these are paper flowers, fabric flowers, for this project, you don't have to really worry about gluing that with the 3D gel or heavy body gel. You can try simply the hot glue because it is going to be matte enough to keep it in place. So I try to make nice looking groups. Of course, not completely symmetrically, but more like a group of 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is going to give us a kind of visual triangle. There will be a nest here, and then this is going to be above the nest, and last one on the top. I'm starting with the bigger ones, and then I'm going to add smaller ones to fill the spaces. And this is the moment when, of course, you are extremely careful and you don't even think about burning your fingers, right? So that will be the group of 3. 1, 2, 3. And so now we can make these a little bit bigger and more interesting. Ah! Don't go. Now, let's add our other elements as well. Let me look for the good sizes of the flowers. Maybe some white, maybe some of these. Of course, if you have a source for like evergreen leaves from the garden, you can use that. But remember, if you plan to put it for longer time, they're going to fade. They're going to look dry. So it's probably not such a bad idea to use the ones that are artificial. Maybe I should take something more red, in fact. I don't remember when I bought these flowers, but it's really high time to use them. Remember, when you add the elements with the hot glue, be careful. And try to put them close to each other to make like a cluster. The same way as we did with the other elements here. We were clustering them. So this is the same kind of story. I put it to dry on the side, as I said before. And here, we need to work on our other elements, our resin details. I would like them to be included, but the problem is they're too similar to the flowers. So I'm going to highlight them with a bit of silver wax. So they will get more of the detail visible. How about the small metal flowers? That is not weird at all. Absolutely. I'm going to add more of the metal leaves in a moment. You know, it's an eclectic project. You can mix whatever makes you happy. So I'm going to highlight, because now they are dry. I can just rub a bit of the contrasting color, and this way you will see the details of the butterflies better. Of course, if you want to go on the higher level, you could paint them with multiple colors on each wing to make them look even more detailed. But, you know, it is just more time consuming, and it takes a bit more of the attention, which we may not have now today. But just by highlighting with the contrasting color, you already add a lot of the lovely effect. I'm going to add a bit of vintage touch with the acrylic paint as well. So there will be a chance to add extra colors to these elements as well. So look, just highlight and they start to look better right away. For me, the most important detail when it comes to the most important secret is to make a cluster, really. So your elements are not going to feel too lonely or too simple. See, right away, it starts to look better. So they always work better in a group. So if you don't know how to do it, groups of 3 are really, really great. So this way here we have butterfly sitting on the flowers. There will be butterfly over the flowers. And every time when you press something down, mind your fingers. And if you are afraid, take a tool. Now, we surely need more of the flowers here. Remember, the nest is going to be in that part. Something lighter in color. More of the white. I think this is the last one I have. If you want to go on another level, you can work on both sides. And that is even more of the planning and more of the embellishments. But this way, it's going to look beautiful from 2 sides. So if you plan to put it in the place, for example, over your dining table, it may be a great idea to really work on both sides of it. So it's going to look beautiful from both sides. When people are going to see it on the display, it's just absolutely perfect. I would like this to be here, but it's a little bit too big. If I can fit it, I have to break it to make it smaller. I need a tool to cut it. Poor thing. Just don't tell anyone. Perfect. I will try to fit the bigger elements, and then I will try to add the leaves and the smaller details. So let's add a bit of the leaf in here. I used the leaves from the same package as the ones I used for the nest, but I also have some bigger leaves For example, these ones. And don't worry, they're going to get a bit of a highlight of a color as well. The biggest problem with them, they are quite large, so I need to cut them to make them fit. But they're pretty cool. And again, we're going to combine metal embellishments together with paper flowers, fabric flowers, whatever you have on hand. The secret is, it's just supposed to be a lot. Okay, couple more of the leaves. These leaves, these ones, they are not out of stock. The Prima still has them in stock, although the stock level is not too high, I have to say. I've seen them in stock last week because I was checking the stock before planning the project. Okay, so let's see with the nest here. Do we need so much more? Ooh. Well, if I tell you we need a lot, I don't lie. I will show you that in a moment from the frontal shot. Of course, this is not finished, it's just happening. But you can see the progress. Wait a little bit. Switch the... Hello again. I will show you how this is all coming together. So, of course, I'm going to glue it. And this way you have the nest surrounded by flowers already. Now I need to think about the more of the green accents. We're going to rub a bit of the green color on the leaves maybe. And of course we're going to finish that with some glitter or crystals. We will see. It is all coming together nicely now. So that's the plan. I am not sure if this is still very much a spring project, but hey, it's our personal style and preference. Okay, this nest goes on the side. Now I can see where I need a bit of extra. Surely we need to work on this part. Trying to figure out how to make it work. Yes, I think so. So, kind of in a similar way, I try to start a composition on the mini wreath as well. And then there will be a big moth sitting on it. So first I'm putting the flowers in, and then I'm going to stick the moth. And to make it nicer, I can go on the other side and back it with another flower. So I'm just cutting the elements to add a bit of the green detail to the composition as well. So you can see it's once you have the elements done, once you have your colored details, you can play quite a lot with all of your findings, trying to fit the, you know, elements into spaces. If you have any details like that and you will see this part, of course you can paint it as well. So now this is going to be like this. Adding a bit more of the green details here and there. I try to fit everything nicely. I think it's glue stick number 3 I'm using now. And of course, sometimes it's just not possible to use every element you want, but it's good to try. It's absolutely good to try. So now we have quite a lot of colors, and it would be good to try to pull it together. So one of the things you can do, because we've got quite a lot of rusty details, before we are going to put some of the dragon eggs here as well, is to add a bit of the color on this rust. So on the leaves, and that may be green or that may be the silver one. So let's have a look at the silver touches. Just going to take any brush. So this way we can add a bit of extra highlight, but we We can also introduce a bit more of this green. And the green that we have here is moss green from the new ones. It has a bit of golden tone in it, so it should work really nicely. We tried with the acid on the twigs on the vine, but it was not shockingly great. Now we can add a bit of the greenish tone here and there as well, together with the silver. So again, not every decision I made was good one. Like I don't really see the acid anymore, so now I'm going for the darker moss green. I'm adding that to the lot. I should probably start with this one from the very beginning, but it didn't happen. So now, on the top of this silvery touches, I can add this green color that is going to add more life to the whole thing. Okay. What else? We still have some of the dragon eggs. So if you feel like you can add some of the eggs somewhere, because they are cute, why not using the things we have on the table? This one really looks like a strawberry or raspberry, so kind of cute. Look at that. I think they're just fabulous. So we can use them for filling the gaps in a pretty way. Another thing we can add is a bit of a gear. You never know what may be useful in your project. Dragon eggs. Yes, that was moss green that I used. I'm just going to stick it in here. So we used from the new coral, honey, and red flame. We tried acid, but it was too light. So now we are working with moss green. Adding some grungy gears. Okay, this one seems to be finished. This one goes on the top. I don't really have more of the dragon eggs left, so I think this is enough. In fact, there's 5, which is an even number, and that sounds good. Now, before anything else, a bit of bling. I know some people are a bit not into glitter, but from time to time, a bit of glitter is pulling the composition together nicely. The thing is, it's so much better if you don't use one color only. It's better to mix the colors together. So here we could add a tiny bit of like a gold or silver or a greenish sprinkle. I will just show you some options, and it's going to add a bit of the nice blingy finish. In the meantime, where's the nest? The nest is in good hands. Now we can add a bit of the silver touches to the wings and silver touches to the how do you call these leaves? Sorry. So what I want to do using the silver is to show a little bit more of the detail. And you will see it even better in a moment once we're going to add a tiny bit of brown. Yeah, I need to glue them in. I just tuck them in, but I need to glue them in. And the same story, if you feel like you'd like to include a bit more of the green, take the moss green and add it on the leaves together with this silver. For more springtime look. Okay. A bit of glitter. I found quite a good selection of the glitters, and to apply them you need to apply the glue first and then you can sprinkle that on the top. I've got some neutral gold and then I would like to combine it with some shades of green. This is like green gold, so that may be a good match. This feels very much like Christmas, so not great. This could be okay as well. This one has some iridescent blue in it, and that may be not our color palette. So I think in the end we're going to use warm gold and this green gold color. So that is going to add a tiny bit of the touch. It doesn't have to be completely overpowering, but because our egg is very shiny, this is going to kind of pull it together. If we are going to do it in a delicate way. So you need a glue of your choice. For me, the easiest way is to use the soft gel. This is leftover, so let's hope it's still alive. Yeah, there is still quite a lot of the liquid. And now, what you need to do first is to apply it in the selected parts. Let's say, for example, on the top of the flowers here and there, but not everywhere. The thing is, it shouldn't go everywhere. It should go in the places that maybe you would like to highlight a bit, or maybe just catch the attention. But once you do it somewhere, try to remember to do it in a balance with other locations as well. So if I put a bit here, you try to remember to put on the other group and on the other group as well. And of course, we are going to tap off the excess, but it's all about catching the springtime mood. So if it's going to be shiny like sunshine, it shouldn't be too bad, I guess. And of course, don't forget, dragon eggs like to shine too. You can add it on the grape wine as well. Grapevine. Grapevine, of course. It's Saturday evening before St. Patrick's Day, so... Yeah, that's very cute. In Spain, we little girls laugh and say that we love brilli. Translates sort of a little glitter said twice. It's always a bit. It's always fun to add glitter to your life. I think yes, especially if it's like an object that is going to be decoration somewhere, and it's going to catch the light. And my plan was to add the crystal hanging there as well. So you know. Now it is all sticky. Now we do the same thing here. Let's give it a chance to catch a bit of the glitter. Whatever happens, happens. And we put the waxes on the side. So we really use very popular supplies such as glitter or flowers or eggs, and these techniques are just helpful to get the things done. So you don't have to spend hours on preparing every detail. It's supposed to be home decor, so something that should go easily and happily without, you know, getting into a lot of labor. Because when you want to decorate the house, you don't always have so much of the time to spend on it. You would like to get nice effects without hours of work. Absolutely. Ooh. Okay, and now a bit of this green. Whatever happens, happens. I tap off the excess. Oh my God. Ooh. Yeah, it's shiny. Now, but it's really, yeah, it feels like, doesn't feel like Christmas. It feels like something else, which is good. We didn't really want Christmas. Now I can tap and remove like excess of the glitter if there is somewhere like too much. And of course it's better to let it dry. So once it is drying, we will add a bit of the finishing touch to the nest. I didn't really put glitter in the nest yet. I don't think it was really needed, but you never know what may happen. Ooh. Yeah. I put it here to dry. I think a bit of glitter on the leaves is going to be cute, but first what I want to do is to add a tiny bit of the shadow and vintage touch to the egg, especially to show the details of the wings using burnt sienna liquid acrylic. This is super easy way to get lovely vintage touch somewhere, and because it is shiny, it's missing a bit of a detail, I think it's going to be perfect. So I take a bit of burnt sienna liquid acrylic, and in my favorite way, I just take a smaller size brush, whatever I can find, and then I try to add a bit of this vintage on the wings. And then I take water sprayer and I let it flow a little bit down. So you can see the structure of the wings gets more visible. Of course. Now we can do a bit of that to the egg as well. Add a bit of a shadow, a bit of the touch. One of the most beautiful things that you can do on the top of your metallic flakes is working with transparent paints like liquid acrylics to add a bit of the vintage touch. You can see how easy it is, and when you water down the paint, it just flows nicely on the top of your metallic flake. Okay. Now, if you want to, you can do the same to your dragon eggs a bit. You can add a bit of the effect on your shiny details. Of course, I will dry it now. Yeah, and I think a tiny bit of the glitter on the leaves here is going to be great. Oh, Pixie does shimmer spray. Yeah, there is a bit of mica powder inside. Of course you can. Look at the structure on the wings. It's so lovely. It's too much, you can still move it. But, like, ooh, so cool. much. Okay, so we have nice looking vintage touch on the nest now. Now, the next thing is we are going... Come on, don't move. We want you to stick. My egg needs a replacement. See what happens? My egg needs replacement. Oh no! I melted too much. Anyway, I will replace it once I have everything in place. Good, I have more glitter, and we can put it all together. See, this is what happens when you do too much of the drying in one spot and something is plastic. Don't do that mistake. I should stick the egg as a last element. Now I have a lesson. Okay, tiny bit of the soft gel. Mostly on the leaves only. We have these crystals. Yeah, the egg is dead. It was fake dragon egg. The real dragons don't react to the heat and fire, right? So, I guess. But this is reality. This is how you learn. This is how we learn. Don't do it at home. It looks very sad now. Oh well. This is what you shouldn't do. Glitter. At least the wings look stunning. Okay. Let's make some space. If you hear some strange noises, it's my dog getting very comfortable on the sofa. It's his time for a nap, so I have to apologize for the very content noises. So if you believe that people who are mixed media designers, artists and teachers for many years, they don't make mistakes, well, as you can see, they do. And then they have to pretend everything is fine and do it again. Haha. That's life. Yeah, we'll just make another egg and glue it in here and paint it the same way with this lovely brown. So that's what it is. Yeah, the egg completely left the building. It's already hatched, you know. In fact, this dragon hatched and now it's flying somewhere. So we will see it soon, probably, coming from somewhere. Okay. Not bad vintage nest. Looks very organic when it comes to the colors. So I like it. And this is going to match the color of the chain as well, which I like. Now, putting it all together. Absolutely. I think we will all take that opportunity to figure out that this is not what you should do. Now I have to fit the nest in here and secure it with the hot glue. So I'm going to do it from the back side. A bit of brutal force, I guess. To hold it in place. Leave me alone, don't burn my hand. Ugh. Holding that in place. Positioning that just right. And then well, not too bad at all. So now, once it is dry, I will take some jump rings and the chain, and my plan is to connect one element with another to, you know, make this work as a combination of the elements, more or less, maybe a little bit closer, like this, right? And then on the bottom part, once it is all settled, I may take another piece of the chain. Okay, there's a lot of glue here. And add crystal. So it's going to catch the light in a pretty way. You know, it is just combination of the jump rings and adding the chain. So everything is going to get connected, and then once it is hanging down, I will be able to take a photo. Because for now, it is almost impossible. So let me put it all together now in front of you so you can see how it works. Oh, that's the right position of the nest. Let's take the poor egg and pretend this is what we want. And let's flip the camera. Hello again. Oh, the egg is back for a moment. So this is the main wreath. Right. With the flying egg in the middle. And then over that, there will be this element hanging. So that would be together. I need to put it together with the chain, and then on the bottom here where my finger is, there will be crystal. So just let's imagine there will be crystal hanging below the nest. But to do it, I need to make sure it is dry. So I will let it dry overnight, and I will make sure everything makes sense. And this way, once it is all joined, it can be hanging on my door And this door is going to be decorated for the springtime. And of course, it is not too cute. I know it's very flowery, but it has some steampunk details as well. So the poor egg is going to be replaced with exactly same egg, but not cooked and not melted. And the top part is going to just make it a bit bigger and longer. And then the crystal is going to add this catching. Question from Chrissy. If you didn't want such shine to the egg with the flakes, what's another way you would do? I would paint it with black gesso for the good background, and I would wax it just the same way as we waxed our dragon eggs that look like raspberries now. That would be really, really cool. So you could just match the shine of these dragon eggs looking like raspberries with the shine of the metallic gold. That would be the most logical because this is what we have on the table already, and that makes sense. And because it's on the black is going to give you a lot of shadow. So I think that would be the easiest without introducing another product, which is unnecessary really, because we already have waxes. So, you know, that would be it. I hope I got you inspired. I'm not good at Easter projects at all. It's not my favorite thing to do. I'm not good at this season. I mostly prefer a bit darker things, but we added a touch of grunge to the lot, I think. We added a bit of the extra detail, and we used very simple techniques and very effective when it comes to changing something like this into something like this. And, you know, if something goes wrong with your egg, you usually have a whole bunch to experiment on. So that is a great solution. By the way, if you would like to make something more elaborate and more detailed, I think last year or 2 years ago, there was video when I was showing the big grungy dragon egg project. It is in the playlist of my YouTube channel. It is in the playlist with mixed media minutes and live streams, and it's in like step-by-step projects playlist, so you can see this kind of egg done as well. This was a live stream class probably last year or 2 years ago. Highly recommend. So if you are in a mood to make something really big and really grungy, that is it. Dorothy mentioned that she thinks the crystal is out of place. I will see. I have a lot of light catchers, sun catchers in my room here. So I will see how does it look. If it doesn't look okay, I won't attach it. If it's going to look fine, I will keep it. You will see it on the photo. In the coming days, I'm going to take a photo of it. And then you will see if I decide to add the crystal on the bottom part to catch the light or not really. It will be a big of a mystery for me as well. It's hard for me to imagine without seeing the whole project, to be honest. So I will make a decision. It will be easy to add and remove because it will be hanging on a chain. So if you feel like it's not working, it is going to be thing. Have you thought about putting in the middle of the wreath? Let's have a look. Okay. Could be like this as well. Could be. You never know. I will think about it. The whole concept is when you use jump rings, you can easily open, go through the chain, and you can hang it in the position you like. So this way it is not really hard to find the right position. My first idea was to go on the bottom, but thank you for the suggestion. So we will see how this is going to finish, but I like your idea. Thank you very much. Have you got any questions about the products we use? Just to remind you, the main art medium we were using this time, it was wax. We were using the new colors of the waxes. We used honey. We used a bit of the green, moss green, flame and red flame and coral. These were the ones that gave us the color on the top of our styrofoam eggs, and a little bit of the green color on the wreath and leaves. Highlights were done with the silver because it was too much of the gold. The second product we were using, it was metallic flakes in silver and gold to make the flying egg, the dragon egg, visible, which of course I have to reapply because it looks like it had an accident. And then the other products we used, of course, a bit of hot glue, a bit of heavy body gel, and then we were using a bit of soft gel to add the glitter. So that was it. Very simple ideas, not too many products, and of course the colors are up to you, because we generally follow the concept of using the waxes and we pick the flowers to match the colors of the waxes. But if you have any other colors of the flowers you would like to use, any other elements, you can match the colors to that. The base is neutral anyway, so you can use the colors of your choice. And you know, I'm really thinking, if you were making home decor, especially something for the season, like seasonal one, it shouldn't be too complicated and too time consuming when it comes to altering the elements, because it will be overwhelming. You know, if it's something like a piece of art you make for yourself for many years, then yes. But most of that home decors you change every year, every 2 years, every 3 years. So, you know, minimum work and minimum labor, maximum effect, and easy to follow techniques. So I would recommend really flakes, waxes. If you don't have waxes, metallic paints instead, and careful drying. And they are going to give you a lot of beautiful effects. So I hope you enjoy that. I promise to take the photos soon. So in the next couple of days, you're going to see it finished, all glued together. And of course, I hope you're going to try something similar. Of course, the wreath is an option, but even just making the nest is a cool idea. And the nests are really not so bad when it comes to finding a nice element to build them. So you can make one yourself if you can't buy a ready-to-go one. Okay? So I hope that was enjoyable. Thank you so much for watching. Where was the burnt sienna used? On the top of the metallic flakes to make them darker and vintage. Yes, and a bit on the egg, but the egg has to be, you know. And I have to glue it properly to make sure it is staying in the right place, and then attach the chain. So it's going to be even more grungy. I will take photos in the daylight, hanging that on the door. Thank you so much. Have a great creative weekend. If you celebrate St. Patrick's Day, enjoy tomorrow. And have a wonderful creative time. I hope you will make some spring or Easter inspired decorations for yourself. Bye!